بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Ramadan, this is our month of honor and this is our month of victory. As I look around and I've noticed the last few days, everyone is so tired, they're so stressed out, they're lethargic, don't want to do much. Well, something to inspire you from our history. Battle of Badr, after many years of struggle with the Quraish and them not leaving the Muslims alone, this decisive battle took place and is known as Yawmul Furqan, the day which differentiates between truth and falsehood. Battle of Ramadan took place with just 313 Muslims versus 1,000 Quraishi warriors, and the Muslims won. This was 17th of Ramadan. After many years, a 23-year struggle of Rasulullah to convince people of the truth of Islam, then Makkah became freed and liberated and came back under the control of the Muslims. The conquest and the freeing of Makkah, 23rd of Ramadan. The Persian Empire, also known as the Sassanid Empire, had been ruling over that area for 4,000 years, and they were considered to be one of the greatest powers along with the Romans. The Muslims defeated them with Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu, a very famous Sahabi at their head. This took place the night before Ramadan. Egypt at this time had been under the control of the Christians and had been ruled by many pharaohs of the past. And we all know the story of pharaohs and how they had treated the Muslims and the Bani Israel in the past. Alexandria and the River Nile were very important areas. This came under the rule and under the control of a Sahabi, Amr ibn As radiallahu anhu, in the month of Ramadan. The Muslims had control over Spain for over nearly 800 years under the ruleship and the leadership of Tariq bin Ziyad. In fact, the place that he landed is called Jabal Tariq, and now its English is called Gibraltar. This is where Tariq bin Ziyad landed with his army to free Spain from the ruleship of the Christians at that time, and this took place 25th of Ramadan. What about India, Pakistan, Bangladesh? Most of you are from that area. What about Islam then? Well, well, not all of you. There was a very evil ruler. His name was Raja Dahir, and he was an evil ruler over the area, in that area, especially in the area of Pakistan. So the Khalifa of the time sent a young 17-year-old boy as the general of the army. His name was Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim was 17 years old. He left with a small troop of army of Muslims, and they landed in the area of Pakistan called Sindh. And in that area, there's a specific town called Multan. In that area, Muhammad bin Qasim, at the age of 17, defeated the evil Raja Dahir. This was in the month of Ramadan. What about the Christians, the Crusaders? Well, they had taken over Palestine at that time, and they had massacred the Muslims. They had treated them so badly, it's mentioned, they had slaughtered the Muslims in Palestine, particularly in the area of Bayt al-Maqdis, that the streets were flowing with the blood of Muslims. For 40 years this continued until a very famous man came along, Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Salahuddin al-Ayyubi fought the evil King Roderick, and he defeated him in the Battle of Hittin, and he freed Aqsa, and it came back under the control of the Muslims after many hundreds of years under the control of the Romans. This took place in Ramadan. But arguably the greatest humiliation that the Muslims have ever faced to this day in terms of battles was by a group of people known as the Mongols. And they were from the area of Mongolia. Now if you look into our history, these Mongols were vicious, and they slaughtered the Muslims all the way from Turkey through to Spain into Iraq and Basra. And in fact, they were vicious people. They were malicious. How they would fight the Muslims? They would throw dead bodies over the walls, rotting flesh, and then they would cause infection and disease. This is how they used to fight their battles. They nearly annihilated the entire ummah. But there's a dua of the Prophet that he made, that Ya Allah, don't allow my ummah to be destroyed by one enemy that will come and wipe out all the Muslims. So then they finally went to Egypt after ruling all of the other areas, but there was this small army. The small army is known as the army of the Mamluks, the slave army. They were simple people, but Allah put them as defense of the Muslims. And this battle took place at Ain al-Jalut. the well of Goliath. Now if you know the story of Goliath, he fought Dawood and he was supposed to be a giant. So it's symbolic here that the large army of the Mongols against the small army of the Mamluks defeated the Mongols and they allowed Islam to flourish. 25th of Ramadan. This month is our month of victory and honor. Is Allah asking us to fight the Mongols? Is Allah asking us to fight the Quraish? Is Allah asking us to fight the Crusaders? All Allah wants us to do for now is fight our own desires. Fight the evil within. We don't need to defeat any other army. We just need to defeat the enemy within. Restrict yourself. Control yourself. Hold off on your sins. Try to improve yourself. This is the minimum battle that Allah asks for. And if we can't even do that and take hope from the great battles that took place in Ramadan, then we don't have much to say about ourselves in terms of our iman and our belief. Even if you improve a little bit in this month, even if you try to get that little bit more Quran, a little bit more knowledge, hold off on your sins and trying to improve yourself a little bit. Even if your graph goes up or your percentage goes up 5%, just 5%, improve yourself just 5%, in 20 years' time, you have improved 100%. By the time you're 30, 31, 32, 33, you'll be a completely different person. So the name of the game for Ramadan is hold off on your own sins and just trying to improve. As long as you improve that little bit every single month, then every single Ramadan will be for you the month of victory and honor as well. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.